What if we swapped our sun with other objects in the universe? What if one morning you looked up at the sky and the sun was gone? No sunrise, no warmth, just darkness, replaced by something else. Maybe it's a giant black hole, silently devouring everything around it. Or a neutron star, spinning thousands of times per second, blasting deadly radiation. Or maybe a gas giant like Jupiter, glowing faintly in the cold void. Our sun is what keeps Earth alive, controlling time, seasons, weather, and life itself. But what if we swapped it with other cosmic objects scattered across the universe? Let's dive into the terrifying, fascinating possibilities of what would happen if our sun was replaced. If the sun was replaced by a black hole. At first glance, a black hole sounds like the worst possible replacement for our sun, a cosmic monster that swallows everything nearby. But here's the surprising truth. If we replace the sun with a black hole of the same mass, the Earth wouldn't get sucked in. Gravitationally, nothing would change, because the pull of gravity depends on mass, not on what that mass is made of. So Earth would continue orbiting the black hole, just as it orbits the sun today. However, the light would vanish completely. No sunlight, no warmth, no photosynthesis. The world would turn dark within seconds. Temperatures would plunge below 200 degrees Celsius within weeks. The atmosphere would freeze and collapse. Oceans would turn into solid ice. Only the faint glow from distant stars and maybe the eerie radiation around the black hole's event horizon would illuminate the frozen Earth. Humanity would be forced underground, surviving on artificial light and nuclear power. Until even those ran out, the planet would become a silent, frozen tomb, orbiting an invisible monster. If the sun was replaced by a neutron star, now imagine something even stranger, a neutron star. A neutron star is what's left after a massive star explodes in a supernova. Incredibly dense, small, and unimaginably powerful. Just 20 kilometers across, yet heavier than the sun. 1 teaspoon of its material would weigh 1 billion tons on Earth. If our sun was suddenly replaced by a neutron star of the same mass, Earth's orbit would still remain stable, but the world would be bathed in deadly radiation. Neutron stars emit powerful X-rays, gamma rays, and magnetic fields strong enough to strip away Earth's atmosphere within hours. The sky would glow in strange, pulsating flashes, like a cosmic lighthouse spinning at terrifying speeds. Every living creature would die almost instantly from the radiation blast. Even from 150 million kilometers away, Earth would be roasted not by heat, but by pure energy. It would look beautiful, but deadly beyond imagination. If the sun was replaced by a white dwarf is what our sun will eventually become in about 5 billion years. It's the leftover core of a star, small, dense, and incredibly hot. If we replace the sun with a white dwarf of the same mass, Earth would continue orbiting normally. But the problem? White dwarfs don't produce much light or heat. The sunlight we're used to would dim dramatically. The sky would never be bright again. Temperatures on Earth would drop below freezing within weeks. You'd see a pale, faint white dot in the sky, our new sun, no bigger than Earth's moon in appearance. Without enough warmth, plants would die, oceans would freeze, and humanity would face extinction. Ironically, this is our real future. When the sun burns out, this is what remains. The white dwarf is like the final heartbeat of a dying star, beautiful but cold. If the sun was replaced by a red giant, now let's flip it. What if the sun suddenly expanded into a red giant, like the ones we see across the galaxy? A red giant is a star that's dying, swollen and unstable, burning helium instead of hydrogen. And when it expands, it devours everything nearby. If our sun turned into a red giant overnight, it would grow so massive that it would swallow Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Even if Earth somehow survived, the heat would be unbearable. Oceans would boil away. The atmosphere would turn to plasma. The ground would melt like lava. The planet would become a hellish inferno, glowing red under a monstrous sky. It's poetic in a way. The same star that gave us life would be the one to destroy us. If the sun was replaced by a blue giant, if the red giant was terrifying, the blue giant is on another level. Blue giants are much hotter, brighter, and more massive than the sun, millions of times more powerful. If one replaced our sun, Earth would be vaporized almost instantly. Even planets as far out as Neptune would be scorched. The solar system would not survive a single day. The blue giant's light would be so intense that it could melt asteroids millions of miles away. If somehow Earth remained intact, it would be nothing but molten rock. The night sky would turn blindingly bright. No darkness, no life, no atmosphere. In short, the blue giant would make instant extinction look gentle. If the sun was replaced by Jupiter, Now let's try something calmer. What if we swapped the sun with Jupiter, our biggest planet? Jupiter is huge, 1,300 times bigger than Earth, but it's still not a star. It doesn't produce light or heat on its own. So the moment Jupiter took the sun's place, darkness would fall across the solar system. Earth would lose all warmth within days, temperatures would crash, and the planet would freeze solid. The gravitational pull would be weaker too. Earth's orbit would change, possibly drifting away into deep space. From the surface, the sun would look like a giant brownish sphere, faintly glowing from trapped heat, but not enough to warm us. It would be like watching a ghost version of the sun. If humanity survived for a short while, it would be in artificial shelters powered by electricity and heat. But the long-term future? Frozen extinction. If the sun was replaced by a black dwarf, this one's the ultimate dead sun. A black dwarf is what a white dwarf becomes after trillions of years, when even its last heat is gone. Cold, dark, and completely dead. If the sun were replaced by a black dwarf, Earth would become an ice world. No light, no warmth, no life. The only thing visible would be the stars in the distance, tiny points of light over a lifeless planet. In a sense, this is the true end of time, a universe without warmth or color, a silent graveyard of stars that once shone brightly. If the sun was replaced by a quasar, and now the most extreme object of all, a quasar. A quasar is basically a supermassive black hole with an enormous disk of gas spinning around it, releasing unimaginable energy. If one replaced our sun, the solar system would be vaporized instantly. The radiation alone would obliterate everything within billions of kilometers. But from a distance, if you could survive, it would be the brightest object in the night sky, outshining entire galaxies. A quasar makes even the blue giant look small. It's like replacing a campfire with a nuclear explosion that never ends. The perfect replacement. Is there one? So what object could safely replace the sun? The answer, nothing. Every other object in the universe, no matter how beautiful or fascinating, is either too cold, too hot, or too dangerous. The sun is perfectly balanced for life. Just the right size, just the right temperature, just the right distance from Earth. If it were any different, life as we know it could never exist. Our sun might seem ordinary among billions of stars, but for us, it's the perfect miracle. So next time you see the sunrise, remember this. It's not just another day, it's a cosmic gift. Because if the sun were anything else, a black hole, a giant, or a frozen dwarf, we wouldn't be here to see it. The universe is full of wonders, but sometimes the most ordinary thing of all is the one that keeps us alive. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this what-if journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves space and science as much as you do, because there's still so much more to explore out there.